Next time you're out driving, take a look around at the older cars on the road. Check it out, and you'll find a surprising number of older AMC cars still going strong. Registrations show since 1970, a greater percentage of our cars have remained on the road than those built by Cadillac, Buick, Chrysler, Lincoln, Olds, Plymouth, Mercury, and Pontiac. That's right. We've been building them better so that they last longer. And in these times of growing consumer demand for quality products, our durability record becomes one of our strongest competitive features. And to show you how we intend to maintain this competitive edge, let's follow this steel hauler to the AMC plant in Kenosha, Wisconsin. One of the major factors in our durability program was the decision to build our cars with galvanized steel. Why galvanized? Simply because this zinc-coated steel offers truly extraordinary corrosion-resistant properties. We've been putting more galvanized steel in our cars than anyone else in the industry. This year, we're going even further with a fully galvanized outer body. This represents an AMC major cost commitment to ensure that our customers will be driving the most rust-resistant automobiles made anywhere in the world. The AMC durability story starts here in the stamping operation, where the galvanized steel roofs, fenders, side panels, and frames are formed under the heavy presses. The car begins to take shape. This is the creation of a unitized body. AMC was the first American manufacturer to introduce the unitized concept in this country. This design dramatically increases body strength, while at the same time reducing weight. At this point, the sides and the top of the car are brought together into a single rigid body shell that boasts over 236 separate welds. It's then sent to one of the many inspection stations where sensitive fingers and well-trained eyes look for any imperfections, any indication that the body shell does not meet our specifications. The next step is to send the body shell through a deep dip epoxy-based primer that coats every exposed surface. This is one of the oldest methods of protection in the industry, and we were the originators way back in the days of the Rambler. Even now, we remain one of the few manufacturers to use this time-proven epoxy process. Once the epoxy hardens, it's given another coat of zinc-rich primer. No surface is left exposed. For many years, we've been working to produce a virtually rust-free car. And one of the major steps toward the achievement of that goal was the introduction of a factory-applied Z-Bart process. Here, anti-corrosion materials are applied to all the critical body areas. Inside the door panel, up under the wheel wells, and in the trunk. Z-Bart has been for many years a name synonymous with anti-corrosion and long life protection. Here, more protection is added with the insertion of plastic wheel well liners, another AMC exclusive. After painting, we apply yet another application of anti-corrosion materials to what time and testing have proven to be the most sensitive areas of the car. AMC is proud of the fact that we are the only company that proves its concern for the customer by offering Z-Bart factory-applied protection as a standard feature on all of our cars. Now, engine meets body, and the final assembly process begins. Underneath your AMC automobile, you'll find yet another exclusive feature, a totally aluminized exhaust system. By marrying the more costly aluminum with the traditional steel, muffler and exhaust system life is increased substantially. Trim is another area in which AMC's passion for protection is evident. The long-life aluminum reveal moldings are secured by stainless steel screws and fasteners to prevent even a hint of rust. The same concern is demonstrated with the selection of aluminum for bumpers. The drive for durability continues as every new car is fitted with radial tires as standard equipment. Once again, the car undergoes the rigors of an online inspection. While these cars are rolling toward the end of the production line, AMC is involved in an ongoing commitment to proving out its durability programs. In various locations around the nation, the testing goes on. Under the brutal Arizona sun, paint samples are exposed to blistering heats. Here in this special test device, the sun's rays are intensified more than 10 times to enable technicians to accelerate the paint aging process. "3,000 miles to the east in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, more tests are underway as paint samples are exposed to salt, air, sun, and rain. Data is collected on a never-ending series of tests with always the same objective in mind, to find ways to extend paint life and to maintain the integrity of the colors longer. But durability is measured in many ways. In Michigan and Wisconsin, our cars undergo thousands of miles of torturous testing. We push them beyond their limits and drive the cars literally to destruction. Only in knowing how much stress and punishment AMC automobiles can take can we design in the durability that the times and buying public demand. Even as we punish the cars physically, we continue to expose them to a series of severe corrosion tests. And of course, we drive them and drive them over all kinds of terrain to prove to ourselves that AMC cars will stand up under whatever punishment our customers choose to give them. And always, we're collecting data, searching out new information, developing new ideas that will carry us ever closer to the production of the ultimate rust-free, durable car. American Motors gives you a full 5-year warranty, which covers perforations due to corrosion for 5 years from the date of delivery or first use, whichever comes first. Every AMC car that rolls off the line is a product of this philosophy. We do build them better. That's why we can make this promise. American Motors Corporation warrants to you that for 12 months or 12,000 miles, 20,000 kilometers, from the date of delivery or first use, whichever comes first, it will, except for tires, pay for the repair or replacement of any part it supplies, which proves defective in material or workmanship.
American Motors Corporation today is a diversified worldwide company and is among the 100 largest manufacturing corporations in America. American Motors and subsidiary companies have a total of 18 plants in the United States and Canada, while international operations include 23 manufacturing and assembly plants and licensees worldwide. American Motors employs approximately 28,000 people. The world headquarters in Southfield, Michigan, is a symbol of the growth that has taken the company far beyond its pioneering role as a manufacturer of passenger cars. Our automotive history dates back to the Thomas B. Jeffrey Company in 1902, where the first Rambler was produced here in Kenosha. The Kenosha manufacturing and assembly plants cover nearly 6 million square feet, making it the largest automotive assembly plant under one roof in the United States. You are going to see only a portion of it on your tour today, which will feature the final assembly of our automobiles. Engines for our automobiles and Jeeps are produced in our Kenosha plant. The Kenosha Engine Division is one of the most up-to-date engine manufacturing plants in the industry. AMC's new lightweight six-cylinder engine is almost 100 pounds lighter to improve gas mileage in our vehicles. In the press room, sheet metal components for our automobiles are stamped out using dies designed for each part. For rust prevention, one-sided galvanized steel is used in 100% of all exterior metal and on most interior sheet metal. Sheet metal then goes to the body plants for assembly on welding fixtures. Bodies are produced here in the main plant body division and also at our lakefront plant located near the Kenosha Harbor on Lake Michigan. Following the welding of our unitized bodies, the paint departments finish the bodies before the assembly operations, incorporating improved rust protection processes of deep dip, prime painting, and the exclusive Z-Bart factory rust protection on all automobiles. Painted bodies then go to the final trim departments for being transported by truck or conveyor to the final assembly lines. Your tour today begins in the main plant lobby, where you will notice the American Motor Show radio studio. The Kenosha plant is unique in its concept of employee communications by the utilization of local radio and an in-plant closed-circuit television system to keep our employees informed. The first stop on your tour will be the Data Processing Center, where all new car orders, car scheduling, payrolls, and other information and records are processed on the latest systems equipment available. As you enter the plant, you will travel through manufacturing areas where ring and pinion gears, spindles, and other parts requiring heat treatment are processed. The next area is where rear axle components are machined and assembled, including rear axle and differential gears and cases, axle shafts, and axle tubes. Rear axles, drivetrains, and front suspensions travel through an electrostatic spray booth where they are completely coated with paint on the way to the final assembly area. As you enter the final assembly division, you will see the engines being mated with the undercarriage, and both united with the automobile in our motor mount area, while the bodies continue non-stop on the assembly line. Our two assembly lines are each capable of producing about 80 vehicles an hour, or up to 2,500 automobiles per day. As you proceed down the final assembly area, you will see the many operations required to complete our vehicles, Spirit, Concorde, and the four-wheel drive Eagle, Eagle SX4, and Eagle Camback. The completed cars and automobiles are driven into a test area and onto a rolls test where all working parts are checked by a quality control inspector. Quality control, testing, and inspection are continual processes throughout all phases of manufacture and assembly, including the testing performed in the exhaust emission lab to meet government standards and at the Wisconsin Proving Grounds located near Burlington, Wisconsin, west of Kenosha. At AMC, quality control means building it right the first time. The last operation you will see on the end of the final assembly line is the front end alignment accomplished on the most modern equipment. Your tour today will enable you to see all the current American Motors passenger cars and automobiles available. We ask that you observe the safety rules, which your guide will point out to you. We hope you will enjoy your tour, and if you have any questions, please ask your guide. The automotive industry is a very important economic force in the United States as well as in countries throughout the world. The horseless carriage had its inception in Europe in 1863, but it remained for American mechanics, engineers, inventors, and businessmen to change the motor car from an expensive toy into a working machine for the average person. This was accomplished by building cars in volume, by mass production methods, and by passing the resulting savings on to buyers. American Motors is a pioneer in the automotive industry, dating back to the establishment of the Thomas B. Jeffrey Company in 1902. The 1902 Rambler was one of the world's very first mass-produced cars, with 1,500 sold that first year. Mr. Charles W. Nash purchased the Jeffrey Company in 1916. He then formed the Nash Motor Company. In 1937, a merger with Kelvinator Appliance Company formed the Nash Kelvinator Corporation. The economy car was introduced in 1950 and was given the name of Rambler, revived from the early Jeffrey days. In 1954, a merger with Hudson formed American Motors Corporation. Nash and Hudson nameplates were later dropped, and production was concentrated on 100 and 108-inch wheelbase Ramblers. The compact car revolution was underway, and by 1960, all U.S. auto manufacturers offered compact models. Now, many auto industry contributions were made by American Motors and its forerunner companies, such as the rear deck to carry luggage and spare tire, the fifth wheel to make tire changing easier, first sedan and coach-type bodies, first counterweighted crankshaft, rubber-mounted engines to absorb engine vibration, fresh air heating and ventilating systems, low-cost air conditioning, and the first to offer seat belts. American Motors pioneered single-unit construction, reclining and individually adjustable front seats, adjustable headrest, aluminum window frames, curved glass side windows, deep-dip rust-proofing, and the double safety brake system on United States cars. American Motors purchased the Kaiser Jeep Corporation from Kaiser Industries in 1970. Famous for its line of four-wheel drive utility vehicles, its history dates back to the famed stagecoach builders, Overland. As one of the largest manufacturing corporations in America, with annual sales of more than $2.6 billion, American Motors employs about 28,000 people worldwide, with 18 plants in the United States and Canada, and 23 manufacturing, assembly plants, and licensees outside the U.S. and Canada. Among other company facilities in Wisconsin is the National Parts Distribution Center in Milwaukee, a body plant in Kenosha's Lakefront plant, a proving grounds west of Kenosha near Burlington, and our main automotive manufacturing and assembly plant in Kenosha, which contains engine manufacturing and assembly, stamping and body manufacturing and assembly of American Motors automobiles, and one of the largest assembly lines in the industry. Corporate headquarters are in the American Center, a 25-story office tower located in Southfield, Michigan. The Technical Center, AmTech, housing product development, research, styling, and related activities, is located in Detroit, Michigan. Plastic components are produced by Everett Products, a wholly owned subsidiary, as is Holmes Foundry, Windsor Plastics, Mercury Plastics, and Wheelhorse Products. Electrical wire harnesses are produced in Coleman, Wisconsin and Iron River, Michigan. Our manufacturing and assembly plant in Brampton, Ontario has produced Jeep vehicles as well as passenger cars. The Jeep Corporation is located in Toledo, Ohio. AM General, with plants in Indiana, is the largest producer of postal delivery and tactical wheel vehicles in the world and is a leader in the production of electric-powered vehicles. American Motors signed an agreement in 1979 with Renault, the French car and truck manufacturer, which includes automotive sales activities in the United States, Canada, and parts of Europe and South America. A new family of Renault cars will be built at the Kenosha plant starting in 1982. American Motors is an influential economic force internationally, as well as one of the largest private employers in the state of Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, the Kenosha plant covers about 6 million square feet, employing some 10,000 people. The engine division produces engines for our automobiles as well as for our Jeep vehicles. Engine blocks, which are received from our foundry, are machined and assembled. Every engine is run using natural gas and all necessary adjustments are made before it begins the final assembly process and is then conveyed to the assembly lines for installation in the automobile. In the Kenosha stamping plant, parts are pressed out for assembly of the automobile bodies. For rust prevention, one-sided galvanized steel is used in 100% of all exterior metal and in most interior sheet metal. In the body division, welding of the sheet metal begins. Parts become panels, panels become sections, body shells are formed until completion of the unitized body. Completed bodies are deep dipped for further rust protection before the prime and then the finished painting. Special trim is added, such as decals, vinyl tops, and two-tone painting. In the body trim department, thousands of components are added, such as all the electrical wiring harnesses, headliners, windows, and hardware, instrument panels, windshields, all interior carpeting, and trim panels, completed seats and cushions, and even pinstriping. During this process of body assembly, factory Z-Bart rust proofing is sprayed in critical areas as still further protection against possible rust. Our manufacturing division is also producing parts such as the pinions and gears which begin in the drop forge, are machined and hardened, and eventually become part of the differential, the undercarriage drivetrain, and front suspension assemblies are completed and conveyed to the final assembly area. The entire operation of manufacture and assembly is coordinated by computers and a broadcast system. When a customer places an order for an automobile through our dealer network and selects colors and options, it starts a chain of events which is very complex. The dealer places the order through his zone office for processing. The zone then forwards this to Detroit for further processing, screening, and preparation of the order, which is then sent by the data center to the plant in Kenosha. The car building order is received by the Kenosha data center and related information forwarded to distribution, planning, and other related departments for scheduling and ordering of vendor parts and orders for building of the vehicle. It must be determined how many engines, undercarriages, types of vehicle bodies, and vendor supplies must be built to fill projected orders. When the completed body, which has been built to customer specifications, enters the final assembly system, the broadcast system sends information to the related departments so that the specific engine is put on the corresponding conveyor hook to meet the right car on the final line. This same broadcast system and car building order information assures that the right color and type of seat meets the body in the trim department. the coordinated steering column assembly, proper wheels and tires, and the engine meet the automobile at the right time during final assembly. And as you can see, all assembly is done while the conveyor is moving, including the joining of the drivetrain to the engine and the entire unit installed in the body as it proceeds down the line. Testing and inspection are continual processes throughout all phases of manufacture and assembly for quality control, as you see here on our final assembly test rolls. Although product demand will create variation, the time a customer places an order with a dealer to the completion and delivery can conceivably take from 10 to 14 days depending on special options. American Motors is committed to building quality products using the best engineering facilities possible on the latest manufacturing equipment. Our philosophy is not just to catch defects, rather to build a vehicle as near perfect as possible. We are committed to the future and are striving to meet the needs of today's and tomorrow's consumer in an ever-demanding world.